CTV's Kamil Karamali is standing by in our national newsroom with more on this and some of the key takeaways, Kamil, including that revelation that he may have been trying to get investors to invest as recently as just a couple of months ago.
Yeah, police were somewhat tight-lipped because of this court-ordered publication ban, saying that they can't say much. But one of the takeaways, as you mentioned, was that Pleterski is alleged to have been soliciting investments and potential clients as recently as February. This is, as you know, 2 years after he was petitioned into bankruptcy for allegedly running a Ponzi scheme worth millions of dollars. $40 million is what we know as the latest number, and over a million, or rather over 100 investors involved. And the other takeaway that really stood out was that police are almost convinced that there are other investors out there that have not come forward. So they made a plea saying that this is not the entire picture just yet, Todd, that there are other investors out there. Now, as you mentioned, he was arrested and charged just this past Tuesday for fraud over $5,000, as well as allegations of money laundering as well. All of that has a maximum jail time of 14 years. There was also an associate or an alleged associate of Pleterski's, 27-year-old Colin Murphy from Oshawa, also charged with fraud as well. Right now, Pleterski, we know, is out on $100,000 in bail, and one of the conditions of his bail is that he cannot leave the province of Ontario.
All right, so what happens now? And certainly in terms of the advice police have got for people is like, look, if it seems too good to be true, it usually is. And by the way, this guy was 23 years old with not a whole lot of financial background. So, there were some warning signs, Kamil, weren't there?
Absolutely. And so, it seems kind of obvious in some cases, but do a little bit of a background check before you sign over any checks, especially with the Ontario Securities Commission. That's the way to check if someone is registered with that body. Then that is probably your safest bet that they are legitimate, saying that you should probably check whether these individuals are properly licensed. Have a listen to a little bit of advice from the Ontario Securities Commission today.
A lot of lives have been devastated by this. It's very emotional for individuals. It's too good to be true. It probably is. Anybody who's thinking of investing, again, as Senior Investigator Henkel had mentioned, contact the Ontario Securities Commission, see if they're registered, see if they're properly licensed.
And Todd, another little nugget that came out of that press conference was that it took 40 court orders to different financial institutions to gather all this information. Just a little bit of a scope of the scale of this investigation as well. Meanwhile, Pleterski's lawyer has chosen not to put forward a comment as of yet regarding the allegations against his client.
Unbelievable. Crazy. Thanks for this, Kamil. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.